Hey guys, Mike here. So it's gonna be a jam-packed video, so I'm gonna just get right into it because we had all kinds of stuff happening this morning, which affect the markets, and I mean, it was a lot. It's almost hard to describe, but I did want to ask a question right out of the gates with which is, am I the only one listening to earning calls? And when you hear an executive with a straight face now say, by the way, we're going to be cutting costs, I mean, let's say 2 billion, whatever, by laying people off, freezing hiring, and then trying to find other cost-cutting measures within the company. But hey, by the way, we're going to be increasing our share buyback by $10 billion. Like, am I the only one that just sits there shaking their head going, I'm sorry, what did you just say? And so there has to be, besides helping the stock price go up, and for those who don't know, from 2010 to 2020, now we know one of the reasons that bull run was so great is because basically companies started just buying back billions upon billions of their share. But it has to be some benefit besides that, because like Google did it last quarter, and it was like throwing money in a furnace because the stock dropped 20-25%, and they spent, I think it was 10 billion. So there has to be a tax benefit. There has to be something, right? And so I'm just wondering, what am I missing? Because it just makes no sense to me to be laying people off, hiring freeze, cutting all these costs, and then increasing the share buyback. So there has to be something there. I'm just totally missing it. But right now, understand what's happening is, boy, the Fed presidents have been given their marching orders. They are being sent out day after day now, and the one that came out today, which he spooked markets in the beginning, i.e. spooked them, of course, which he said, oh, by the way, here we are, that's the Fed funds rate now, but we think, or I think it should be between 5 and 7%. That's what he said. And then, of course, it freaked people out. And, of course, he went on to say, just because we're going to be, doing a 50 basis point hike in December, don't mean we're going to stop hiking. You don't look at this as, oh, my God, you're slowing down. It's like, no, we may slow down how big the rate hikes look, but we need to keep raising because, as you can see with the employment numbers coming out, with retail, everything coming out, the economy is still moving, right? Still hot. We're still buying the extra added cost on these products, right? It's not stopping us. And then the earnings are all over the place, all right? Like Target's a dumpster fire. Macy's is good. Some other retailers were good. Walmart was good because of groceries, but it's kind of hard to figure out. Like, we're shopping at certain stores, buying high-end goods, and then not at this other one. It's very strange right now. And then if you live in the UK, I don't know, man. I said you guys, I think we're in worse shape than we are. And I know our government's jacked. Don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about the Fed and all the rest of them. But this came out this morning, right? So UK finance minister announces tax hikes, and I guess this is going to be on the wealthiest people, spending cuts from the government, and they're also going to raise the minimum wage. And so when I look at that, I'm like, well, so they're raising extra taxes, which that'll take some liquidity out of the market. Then they're putting it right back in by raising the minimum wage. Not that I'm against it, I'm just saying you're putting, the money right back in the market by raising the minimum wage, but then they are taking some more liquidity out by cutting. But weren't y'all doing tax cuts like a month ago? Am I mistaken on that? I swear I talked about that. And so I'm just wondering, what's going on? Like, what do you guys think about this new plan? I don't know. It seems interesting, and I have no problem taxing your wealthiest people. And then the other thing that came out this morning, which, over here, and we were talking about this in the Discord, somebody said, hey, oil's tanking, and because of China COVID issues. And I'm like, what? I was like, wait a minute. And so I went and looked at this article, and, this is the two most important things I got out of this one, right? Which it says China's new cases have rose to 23,000, which is the high since April. And it goes over some different areas of this. So they're afraid they're going to start doing lockdowns again. And then it talks about United States, of course. The manufacturing activity is slowing. Oh my God, orders are lower. I can't believe it, And then, of course, I'm a smart ass at the top. But I thought everything was okay. And that's why the market was moving up, right? I mean, I'm looking at this data going, it doesn't look that great economically, right? But then, of course, China, everybody's rolling in there, and I'm going to show you a video tomorrow, show you exactly why people are rolling into China right now. But it's like, yeah, new orders are slowing down. Listen to the earnings calls, and what's really funny is, what do you see happening today? Baba misses on, I don't know if it's sales or EPS, whatever it was. Nvidia, you can call it, mediocre at best with their earnings. And then what happened, right? They opened up flat to try to really, somewhat down, to try to kill all the premiums, which they did successfully. Good job there, market makers. And then NVIDIA ends up going from negative to positive. Baba grinds up almost 8%. I don't know where it ended up today. But normally those stocks would have been way down on earnings misses. But nah, it's all good now. It's just amazing how it works, and there's a reason for that. And one reason is, and this I find it's hard to believe, but the put call ratio went from 0.58 on Tuesday to 1.56, or excuse me, 1.46 on Wednesday. This is the highest reading since 1997 and the COVID crash, which I find shocking. I mean, when you look at the chart, you see it, right? There it is. And then we scroll way back, and there's 1997. I just can't believe, and I looked at other sources, that the 2020, 2008 dot-com bubble was not bigger. And please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share this video, guys. It really helps the channel out. Thank you very much. Am I the only one surprised by that? I mean, I was really surprised. But once I saw all those puts, I realized, what was going on with the market. And don't forget, what's tomorrow, right? We're sitting there with, monthly options expiring, which we're going to get into. And that's why when you look, right now, look at this chart, the market's not really moving, but it's not a shock right here that it bounced right off that key support level right there. That they want to keep it around this area right here before either letting it move up or not. And, I don't see anything bearish in this because the RSI looks fine. The MACD looks fine on the daily. You look at this, you can draw a trend line right here and say, well, it's bounced off its trend line here, so maybe we will come back down to test this before moving up if they will allow us to move up. But, or maybe we'll fill that gap right there, right? I mean, that's the big question of what the market makers and big institutions wants to allow the market to do right now, because you're going to see a whole lot of manipulation tomorrow. You saw it today. And Max Payne, I don't know what it's going to be. We were discussing 395 in the Discord. This has 385 at close today. I'm sure that's going to change. But look at all these puts. I mean, look at the puts from 350 to, what is that, 382 or something? Just a boatload versus the calls, of course. And then the calls are a little bit over to the right. So 385, I mean, it'll be right there. They're saying that's Max Payne. We'll see what they're going to do. But remember, who sells you these options, right? It's mostly the market makers, which I showed you the video last week, wasn't it? Or some big institution. And so remember, they're taking the opposite side of that trade. So do you think they want you to make money on your options or not? No. And they can't mean totally rig the whole game. But, understand I showed you how they hedge, how they're taking the opposite, play on it. And so can you imagine if they allowed the market just to tank tomorrow and all those puts come into money? That would be insane, right? And so we'll see. See what happens, see what they allow. Now, one other important thing, I'm going to spend a minute on this with you, is what smart money is actually doing versus dumb money, right? And I've showed this to you before, and you can see right here, we'll go through this. This is smart money, dumb money, and S&P 500, which is at the top right there. So this is the S&P 500 now. These are the other tops right here, 1, 2, and 3. And if you look at the bottom, the top line is going to be smart money, dumb money is going to be the bottom, of course. And you can see, if it's kind of weird to think about how this works because we do the opposite. But as you can see, when the market's tanking, smart money is actually buying, right? They're buying the prices as they get cheaper. And then, of course, what we're doing in this case, we were basically selling as it went down. And then as it goes up, well, smart money sells. They go, well, we're out of here. Cool. Appreciate the money. And they get out. Well, of course, we do the opposite. We buy. We don't buy when it's coming down. We buy when it's going up, right? And then, of course, it tanks again. Smart money buys while it's coming down. We sell while it's coming down, okay? And then, of course, as it starts to go back up, well, they start to sell. They say, thanks, appreciate it, we're out of here. And then we start to buy on the way up, right? And you get these crosses that happen, okay? And so obviously it tanked again. Smart money said, we'll buy it up. We said we'll sell it. And then, of course, it's going up now. Well, smart money has been selling, right? And we've been buying. But then if you look really closely here, smart money's done a U-turn. And all of a sudden, they're starting to come with us. Now, where this goes, who knows, right? I mean, it could go up, could go down, whatever. But I just find it funny that smart money reversed course there at the end. And of course, looking at that, you might start to think, man, maybe they got something here. Maybe I need to start buying on the way down, right? Because we tend to do the opposite. We were too fearful going down. We never want to buy on the way down. But when it starts running up, we're running in there, right? I mean, it's kind of amazing to see. But we'll see what that means. We'll see, does the next read in smart money keep helping push this market up or not? right? And I think more importantly, I think a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines right now, just waiting because there's just so much resistance above right now, and there's just so much manipulation going on in this market right now. It is insane on both sides, from retail, from market makers, you name it. And so, let me know in the comments. I mean, what do you think? And by the way, if you know what the total number of options expiring tomorrow is, I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it yet. But if you do, put it down in the comments. Let me know. Also, if you're wanting to sign up, because some of you guys have emailed me for the Discord and the Patreon stuff, just shoot me an email or hit me up in the comments. And what I usually do is just open up a spot, right? Because I know it was closed out last night because people filled it up, and then I opened up some spots, and some of you got in. And if you're don't sign up on the YouTube membership. If you are with that one, email me. I did send you a message out today. I want to talk to you guys about that. And so that's where we're at. Friday is going to be a heck of a day. I can't wait to see it. Volatility is the name of the game tomorrow. So let me know what you think. Is Max Pain going to work out? Or what? Where do you think we're going to end up tomorrow? Green or red? And are you in puts or calls or just sitting on the sidelines? So anyway, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.